Hi, I'm Dan. This is Vinyl Fury and another video of new additions to my vinyl record collection. And there have been a lot lately, actually. It's very unusual for me, at least the last few years, to have been acquiring so much. I kind of don't know what's gotten into me, but at the same time, it's been kind of fun. I've been to several record stores around town. I've picked up a lot of stuff I wasn't familiar with, but it's turned out to be great. Found a few things I didn't have. Mostly spent too much money, but also got some great finds for great prices. So, real mixed bag. Today is some of the ones that cost too much, but let's get into it. So this first one is the first EP from one of my favorite bands of all, Silverchair from Australia. You might be able to see on the sticker, this is a music on vinyl pressing. I think this may have been issued when it first came out in 1995, maybe as a 7-inch. I think there was an original pressing, but it's been totally unavailable for a long time. So I never expected to have it, wasn't even thinking about it. But then Music on Vinyl did this huge Silverchair reissue campaign, including a bunch of the individual singles from the first 3 records and this first EP. There's only 2,000 of these. This is number 1984, and it's on a very cool orange and yellow marble. This is one of my favorite color schemes. Really like this. Pressing was great, of course. Usually is, or pretty much always is, for Music on Vinyl. And, it sounded pretty good for being basically a demo recording when they were 15. It's crazy. It's actually from 1994. What is from 1995 is their first album, Frog Stomp. Came out on Sony. All of these, and there's one more, have a really nice texture to the jacket. There's no UV spot on the Frog like there is on the old SRC pressing, but just it has a very smooth, matte quality finish to it with a bit of texture. It's really nice. With the glossy inner sleeves, different color frog on each side. And you may remember, if you've ever seen the SRC pressing of this, there's an etched 4th side with that front image of the frog. And I don't think I realized just how different this was, but this has an etching of the 4 different colors of the frogs in there, more like a photo rather than an etching, which is really interesting. Also a gatefold. Music on vinyl pressings usually are not gatefolds, in my experience. They've already pressed this a couple of times at least. And this one is a 10,000 numbered edition on clear, like you saw. And this is 7,450 down there. So quite a lot. It shouldn't be that hard to get, but for some reason there was no sticker on the front like there was on the Tomorrow EP, which I found kind of odd. Also recently reissued again, Freak Show, their second full-length album. This, for some reason, is just a single LP, and it was actually the most expensive one for some reason. And this one is an edition of 5,000. Again, nice textured jacket, and that sticker says blue and yellow, which is green. A nice green, really. And I don't think I said, Frog Stomp sounded pretty good. I've heard that album so many times. There was really nothing revelatory about it. It sounded pretty good, but not very analog, as it were. This one also has a massive fold-out with all of the lyrics and photos that I remember from the CD jacket. That's pretty great. And apparently some copies had like 4 coasters with some of the circus characters on them, I think. I did not get that. But this, I felt, sounded pretty good, even though it's only on one record. and I had to crank it up a little bit. But when I did, it kind of opened up, and it certainly did not sound bad. And this is actually number 913 of 5,000, so actually a pretty low number on that. And I found myself looking for some earlier Sonny Stitt records on Discogs, because I have a lot of Sonny Stitt records, but they are typically from like the mid to late 60s and the 70s. Not as many in the early 60s, late 50s. So I was looking more in that direction. I found a couple that I was interested in, and on Discogs, you know, varying prices and conditions. Looked around and found a couple on a record store website. Never heard of them before. They were roughly in line with the Discogs pricing according to the condition that they were listed in. So I thought, both in the same place, combined shipping, we'll try it out. Both the condition, definitely of the records, and to some degree the jackets, was a little bit less than what they said, I think. You know, they played a fair amount of noise. They've obviously been played quite a bit, but it was a decent gamble. This is Sonny Stitt Swings the Most, from, I believe, 1959. And there's a song called That's the Way to Be. And the reason I was really curious about this one, because it says there's a vocal by Sonny Stitt on this song. And I've never heard him sing. I didn't know he ever did sing. I had no idea. And turns out, pretty damn decent vocalist. I don't know if there's another track of his that he sings on, or why he decided to do it here, but I'll be damned. I sampled it on Apple Music first, and I was like, holy shit, not bad. So that was pretty cool. That's on Verve. This is Sunny Side Up on Roost. Not to be confused with the album from, I think, the year before. I believe this is 1960. And in 59, there was an album with Sonny Rollins and Dizzy Gillespie called Sunny Side Up. Don't know what was going on there. Again, condition, not all that great, but a couple more additions to the Sonny Stitt collection. And lastly, another thing that I ordered online, because I just needed to have at least this song on vinyl. I was talking in my cassette tag video that I just posted a few days ago that I'd really like to have Elemental by Tears for Fears on vinyl, but it's very hard to find for anywhere near a decent price. And I've heard that album quite a few times, and I love it. For some reason, when I listened to it maybe a year ago, the last track, Goodnight Song, really stood out to me as just a magnificent song. Really simple, open, beautiful sounding guitar chords. It's big, but it's also just subtle and smooth. It's just a really well-crafted pop rock song. Beautiful vocal. That's a pretty cool video, too. It's just that version of Tears for Fears like playing in a bar. And I ordered the 7-inch that I found. This is a US 45 from 93. You know, nothing much to look at. It's generic sleeve, but actually sounded pretty darn good. You know, 7 inches are kind of a crapshoot for sound quality, but I really enjoyed listening to it. So yeah, that's it for this one. Like I said, there's a lot more, so I'll probably just go ahead and shoot another one of these tonight. So I'll see how long I can keep this up. All right, thanks for watching. Take care. Enjoy your music.